Tom Clark's Main Event is a Boink Studios production. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Boink Studios, and check us out on boinkstudios.com, where you can see all of our projects, past, present, and future. And now, on with the show.
This is Daddy Show. Step off.
Hey, what is up? Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark's Main Event. We're back once again here on Facebook Live. Glad you are with us. We're also recording today. The show will post on YouTube and is always available on boinkstudios.com. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. This is episode number 124, and yes, we're moving right along here on Facebook Live. I want to thank everyone for joining us here, of course, and for coming back each and every week. Much thanks to Heidi Ryan and the whole crew at Wrestling Rumors for giving us this platform. We do greatly appreciate it. So episode number 123 was AEW, The Undertaker, and WWE. We talked about the brand new company, the dead man's sudden removal of WWE from his social media, and various news and notes from Vince McMahon's company. But now we're moving on. Big stuff happening this week. Lots of stuff going down. Lots of stuff to touch on. Rumors, breaking news, all that kind of thing. Lots of stuff that I'm sure you guys are interested in. And also, we'll go ahead and throw it out there for you this time. This time, the main event is the Elimination Chamber preview. That's right, folks. This is the preview show, man. It's where it all goes down. This is where the cool kids hang out. If you're hanging out with me, you're one of the cool kids, man. Not everyone gets to hang out with a dude with pop vinyls on his wall and a collar on his t-shirt. Okay, represent. I'm just saying. Did you see my crooked pinky? I have a story for that. Watch. That's it. You didn't think you were going to see like stupid human tricks today, did you? There you go, folks. Where's my David Letterman fans at? Oh, that's it. That's about as good as I can do. Broke that pinky. I have no idea how, but I went to the doc one time for the other hand. Something, I cut myself bleeding to death and stuff. And he's like, you broke that pinky. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, it just healed crooked. Great. Anyway, there's my crooked pinky story for the day. And if you're just listening to the show, not seeing it, you missed the whole thing. You missed the whole thing. So it pays to watch, folks. It pays to watch the show. Okay, so everyone's hitting me some stuff. Hit me with some stuff. I am going to soapbox in a moment, but we're going to touch on a few things real quick before we get started here. I saw Kofi's name. I wrote a piece for the Chairshot that should publish probably tomorrow or Sunday, one of the two, hopefully tomorrow, on Kofi Kingston. Suddenly out of nowhere, Kofi's in the Elimination Chamber match. We can talk about that more later as we cover the show. It's one of those situations where is he really going to get like some spotlight? Are they actually going to separate New Day, or is this just a temporary fill-in? Kofi, in my estimation, is more than capable of getting the job done. I love the guy, always have. He's exciting to watch. He's fundamentally sound. Not only is he dynamic and he can high flying stuff, but he's very good on the mat. Kofi's a great all-around performer. I have no qualms with seeing Kofi elevated at all. We don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Okay, so Paul's already talking about the Usos. Let's go ahead and talk about that, folks. As of right now at this moment, the Usos have not been removed from the car. We all know what happened. Supposedly, the car was pulled over. Naomi was driving the car, and we're not sure if she and Uso were both intoxicated. I don't know, but supposedly he jumped out of the car and took his shirt off. Let me tell you something. That's a very Southern thing to do. If any of you guys are in the South, I'm in the Carolinas. If you guys are in the South or Texas, anywhere in the South, you know a man's ready to fight when he takes his shirt off. Okay, that's sort of indication. If you ever get out of your car in a parking lot or something, and some dude's taking his shirt off coming at you, run. Okay, unless you got a mean left jab, run, dude, because that dude's after you, all right? So just be ready for that. Rednecks have a thing. Not that Uso's a redneck, I'm just saying. But in the South, I'm used to that. Say, oh, what'd you say? And then the shirt comes off. Like, have you ever seen women do that? Isn't that funny? If women's like, what'd you say? Turns up, and the shirt comes off. What are you doing? I don't know. I guess that they like the shirt. They don't get blood on it. I don't have any idea. Miss Lopez, I saw your little picture. What's up? So, sorry, that was just me going off. But yeah, an interesting situation. Been in trouble before. I don't have any idea what happens now. But as of right now, this moment, they are not off the card. There's always rumors about AEW. There's rumors their Usos their contracts are up in April, is what I read. I don't know if that's sure. I don't know if that's 100% positive. Please don't quote me on that. But that's what I read, is that they're up in April. So, on one hand, you say, you know what? Bye. But on the other hand, dude, the Usos best tag team they got. I mean, really. And I love the Revival. I'm just saying. And maybe it's all relative. It's subjective depending on what your tastes are and what your opinions are and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think they can really afford to let them go. I wouldn't let them go. But how do you just let this go? How do you just let this go? We'll see. I don't know. With this being this close to the pay-per-view, maybe they don't have a way to replace them, and they're just like, you know what? Just let them work. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Everyone keep your eyes on there. I'll try to do the same as well. It'll be in storyline. I agree with you, Paul, on that one. Do you think Jay might get a singles push if they suspend Jimmy? Maybe. You look at it and you say, what's one without the other? Remember when they split up Ricky and Robert and it lasted for 10 minutes? Mostly because Ricky didn't want to leave Robert. Ricky could have been the Shawn Michaels of his generation. I don't say that lightly. Ricky was that good. Robert's good too. No disrespect, but Ricky had something special. But he didn't want to leave Robert. So what would that have looked like? I don't know. What would it have looked like if Shawn had never left Marty? It's all just, fairy tale stuff because we don't know at this point. But it's interesting. What's up, Alma? Thank you for hanging out. Jeddah asks, what do you think about Becky not fighting Ronda? I think a whole bunch of people's heads exploded during Raw. I was sitting there watching Raw, and Vince comes out talking about, well, pal, you're suspended for 60 days, and it's 5 days after the show. And I'm like, of course. I can't get too awful upset. That's the face I make when I watch Raw most of the time. It's just... Because how are you going to get upset? They're going to work Becky back into this. It's not over. Becky was going to be in the main event. She's going to be in the main event. It was always, in my estimation, it was always going to be Charlotte and Ronda. I believed that for a year. From the moment that it was announced that Ronda was coming in, I said she's going to work Charlotte next year at WrestleMania. It might be the main event. Not that I'm any smarter than anybody else out there. Don't want to get all twisted and bent out of shape, folks, but... how do you not book that main event, right? Ms. Lopez says, Monday Night Raw was so disorganized. You said a mouthful, my dear, and then some. Crazy disorganized. Hard to watch. That show is hard to watch. And just because I say that doesn't mean I'm throwing shade at WWE. Let me tell you something. Soapbox time. Andrew's watching it now. Everyone say a small prayer for Andrew. Pray to the gods of wrestling that he has an easy time of this, because it may not be that easy for you, Andrew. Andrew, go with God, my friend. Soapbox time, then we're going to get to the show. Please allow me this moment. I have something to say. These people shall remain nameless. I am friends with a couple of other writers online. See that? Writers. Bam. In quotes if you can't see it. I just told you. So, and they go on Twitter and do nothing but defend WWE. What's up, Mark? Thank God Mark's here. What's up? I'm playing, man. Welcome back. So they do nothing but go on Twitter and defend WWE. Anytime you say anything derogatory about WWE, they kind of punch you in the mouth. How dare you? And I'm like, why are you so quick to defend the billion-dollar company? And here's a news flash for you folks. Everybody watching right now, everybody listening right now, if you want to complain about WWE, go with God. Okay? If you want to question, if you want to ask questions, listen, this guy's career in WWE is kind of on the skids, in my opinion. Maybe he should give AEW a shot. Guess what? That doesn't make you the devil. It doesn't make you a stupid fan. It doesn't mean that you're clueless and you want WWE to fail. Now, if you are one of those fans, if any of you are watching or listening say, screw that company, I don't care if they shut down, shame on you. You know how many people that would put out of work? I don't want to see WWE fall. No more than I wanted to see Lucha Underground stop producing TV. I'm just saying, that's another place for guys to work, okay? And that's a good thing. The more places to work, the better the business is, the more it thrives, hopefully into the future, well into the future, past our time. That's what I want. Don't you want that? But I'm telling you right now, if you have an opinion, folks, it's okay. Don't let anyone bully you and tell you, how dare you question WWE. Shut up with that nonsense. So, I don't like to get into spats on Twitter because I got news for you. If you've ever engaged in some sort of argument on social media, brother, you are wasting your time. Cut it. Because guess what? Arguments on Twitter are a lot like politics. My opinion is my opinion. I'm probably not going to be able to convince you. You probably won't be able to convince me. I mean, I'll try to be open-minded. I'm as open-minded as they come, but I know where my head's at. You know where your head's at. And if you're not into what I'm saying, guess what? We're not going to be able to come to an agreement. That's just me talking. So there you go. All right, that's my soapbox. I'll try to stay off that. Okay, so why does everyone think AEW wants to end WWE? It can't. Larry, thank you. Freaking Larry just won the No Prize from Tom Clark's main event this week. Check your mailbox, my friend. It's on the way. Thank you. I'm just saying. Why can't we just have both? So I'm just supposed to sit back as the billion-dollar company makes stupid mistakes and writes the dumbest storylines you've ever seen? Dean Ambrose came out and shook Seth. He came out and said, beat the beast, slay the beast. You just wanted to kill Seth a week ago. Nonsense. Watch this. Cut it. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. And this is the stuff they spoon feed you and want you to go, oh, just shut up, pal, and eat what I'm feeding you. I'm not doing that, okay? If I have something to say, I'm going to say it. And if you defend WWE 6 Ways from Sunday, and I'm sorry, not to open a can of worms here, but if you defended WWE against CM Punk, shame on you. The billion-dollar company who's going to always act in its own best interests, who has corporate attorneys and agendas and legal fees, okay? Against CM Punk, who's down here. Come on, folks. What I'm saying is, don't always take the side of the big, invincible corporate guy that's bulletproof with their team of attorneys. That's all I'm saying. Let's think about the talent sometimes and where they're coming from. And if you have a complaint, air your grievance. That's just what I'm saying. All right, so my opinion, just what I'm going for. Someone just said Ambrose went off script. That's the rumor. Terrible. Terrible. But let's be honest, that storyline was dead in the water from the moment he turned. I was on this show the Friday after Ambrose turned heel, and I said it was great. And a lot of you folks told me I was crazy. Turns out you were right. It was crazy. It could have been good. They chose not to do anything with it. They destroyed it. I hate that. I thought it could have been great. Could have been epic. They blew it, so I was wrong. I'm the first guy to tell you when I get something wrong, I got it wrong. I still think they could have saved it. It's too late now. It's over. So there you go. What's up, Chris? Let's see. Mark just mentioned WoW. I've not watched WoW. Has anyone watched WoW yet? It's my fault. I need to go back and get caught up and watch. So, Montrese, no one knows where Bray Wyatt is. No update on Batista, Jim. Supposedly, Triple H is cleared. Batista's shooting stuff. I don't know how his shooting schedule is right now for the month of April. I don't know. Or March leading up to it. I have no idea. I still believe that we're going to see Triple H and Batista, but that's just me talking. Christopher's obsessed with the pinky. It's funny. Dean should interfere in the match and have Rollins wins, what Miss Lopez says. Well, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? At this point, can I be honest with you? I kind of want Dean to just stay away from stuff. Through no fault of his own. Well, I take it back. If he went off script, that's a big deal. Because he kind of just threw a wrench in the whole thing. But maybe he's sick of it too. I don't know. Yeah, they could have worked Renee into it. I think Renee might be a distraction. No disrespect. I don't know. All right, folks, we're gonna hit the Elimination Chamber card. We don't have to spend a month of Sundays on this. If you want to just do some quick hits and we get back to talking about other stuff, we can. Let's go ahead and write down the card. As we said, Elimination Chamber tickets are still available. Okay. The kickoff match. Yay! Cruiserweight champion Buddy Murphy versus Akira Tozawa. This should be good. We all know that every time the curtain goes up and Murphy hits that ramp, he brings it. He's reliable. He's dependable. He's one of those guys that you can always trust him and count on him to deliver. And he does every time. And he looks great. I hope the fans will care. Oftentimes you watch the kickoff matches, or especially the 205 Live matches, and people are just like sitting on their hands. But this is the kickoff match. It's going to set the tone, so hopefully it'll get a pop. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Akira loses. We've already got some predictions. I don't know if I have a prediction for this, but yeah, I don't see Buddy losing the title right now. I just don't think that's going to happen. You know, all the rumors about who could be going where and stuff. We've had some departures in New Japan, and now I'm drawing a blank. Kushida is gone from New Japan, and supposedly he wants to give WWE a try. And they've not announced anything officially. They just brought in the newest NXT class, and I didn't see him among the group of new NXT signees. So, I still believe Kushida will be there. Will he start out NXT? I don't know. I think he could very well just go straight to 205 Live. If he does, Kushida will be your next Cruiserweight champion, my opinion. He's just too good. And he can do much better than that, in my opinion, too. Kushida is very solid. I mean, you go from New Japan, which is like, 40-minute matches, sometimes longer, on the mat, MMA style, stiff smash mouth moves, over the top rope, acrobatic, all this other stuff combined, okay? All that stuff put together. And then you go to a 7-minute curtain jerk or whatever it is, and all you got to do is throw a few flips and you're done. It's going to be a cakewalk for him. Now, getting over with the crowd will not be the easiest thing, but we'll see what happens. But I love me some Kushida. A lot of respect for that guy. People just asked about Lars Sullivan. I have nothing new on Lars. There is nothing new to report that I know of, and I've scoured every place I know to scour. There's nothing. Supposedly, he's still home. Here's the deal. We talked about this on the show when all this stuff went down. Mental health is nothing to sneeze at. So if Lars is having issues, he needs to get himself fixed. Get some help. Talk about it. Seek counseling. I don't know if anybody out there, just full transparency, I've spoke to people. I've spoke to someone before. We all have stuff that we go through sometimes, and there's no shame in getting help sometimes. So I encourage anyone out there to do that. If you're struggling with anything, listen to me doing a PSA. Jesus. If I encourage everyone out there right now, if you're struggling with anything, get some help. Either find a way through your employer or find a way. But someone out there is willing to help and willing to listen. If nothing else, they're willing to listen. So I encourage everyone out there to stay healthy up here. It's important. You see what I'm saying? There you go. Toby just said Lars is Nathan Jones 2.0. God, it's an interesting comparison. Toby, I hope you're wrong, but you could very well be right. That's interesting. And Toby, I don't know you, but I get the sneaking suspicion you don't mean that disrespectfully or mean it comical, but you might be right. That could be what we're looking at. But here's the thing. Better you know now. And I'm not talking about it from WWE's perspective. I don't really care from their perspective, to be honest with you. But better that Lars knows now versus later. Okay, before he has all that stuff thrust upon him and has to deal with it later in a time when maybe it would be extremely difficult to deal with. Better to get it out in the open now and deal with it now today. Montrese, God, thank you so much for that. What a great thing to say. Very cool of you. Very cool of you. Pro wrestling's therapy for me, Montrese. Full disclosure. Comic books and pro wrestling are therapy for me. And here's why. Oh my God, listen to us getting off into another rant. I'm sorry, real quick. For me, through my entire life, there's been two constants, comic books and pro wrestling. Besides family, obviously, don't get me wrong. No matter what was going on at work, no matter what was going on with a girlfriend, no matter what was going on in everyday life, the job, or whatever you want to call it, I still had those two things. And guess what? At my age, I still got them. And they're still there for me. It's important to have something. I'm not saying they're replacements for human contact. Don't misunderstand me. If you do that stuff enough, people are going to look at you funny. It's like, don't you have any friends? I'm just saying. But you got to have physical contact, folks. It's important. But at the same time, you got to have something that's real. And that's what pro wrestling is for me. Yes, it's an escape and all that. But I can depend on every day I get to sit here and watch wrestling. And I get paid for my opinion, which is astounding to me. After all these years, I still can't get over that. But it's the best. I love it. I'll always be a fan. That's why I love taking my kid right now to the shows. So, there you go, Chris. Sweet. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's get back to the show, man. I like that we had this little moment of bonding. Wasn't that nice? I'll hide the pinky. Wasn't that nice to have that little moment of bonding? That's cool. All right, let's get on with the card, and we can jump back and talk about all kinds of stuff if you want to. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. There's new stipulation out of this match. You guys hear it? This is the bag of I don't give a crap on a pole. That didn't come out good at all. I don't care about this match. No disrespect to Corbin or Braun, but my God in heaven, if I have to see these guys work each other again. And guess what? I'm going to have to watch it again Sunday, and I'm not exactly looking forward to it. Full disclosure, again, it is what it is, but I can't get up for this. Braun, for me, went from being an intriguing, wonder if this guy could be the champion, to, oh, I get it. He's a spoiler. That's what Braun is. He's a spoiler. He's not going to be champion because they don't believe in him in that role. He's not supposed to be there for that. He's a spoiler. That's what he is. He's there to spoil it for other people. He's there to help other people get over, and he's there to be a roadblock for other guys on their way to the title. That's essentially what he is, and he's there to spoil it for heels. Just saying. And guess what? There's no shame in that. But it's hard for me to get up for this match. It's no DQ match. I don't really care. Through no fault of their own. Please don't misunderstand me. This is not personal. I like both of them. Plus, Braun's Carolina boys, so represent, okay? But I can't get up for this, and it's all because of WWE, because they just ruined it for me on this angle. I'll watch the match. Hopefully it'll be fun to watch. I'm sure they'll do what they do. Whether or not it'll be enough to get you up for it, I don't know. Who knows? But we'll see what happens, folks. Larry, to your point, I hope it is a 30-second squash. And no offense against Baron. I'm not a Baron Corbin guy. Can I be honest with you? I think he's had more thrust upon him than maybe he was ready for. And a lot of times when Baron talks, it sounds like he's rehearsed everything word for word. And again, if I could see the guy face to face, I would say that respectfully and hope I don't get slugged. It's my opinion. It's just my take from it. It doesn't mean I hate the guy's guts. I don't. I'm not one of those, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm not one of those podcasters that curses every breath and calls people names and puts myself over. How dumb is that? That's ridiculous. I want to keep my audience and grow it, okay? And by the way, if you want to hear that kind of stuff, click over. There's a whole bunch of other guys dropping the F-bomb on their social media as we speak, talking about fans are so stupid. Here's the truth. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Unless you work for Vince McMahon, you don't know anything. Can I be honest with you? We're all just putting forth our best guess, folks. And this is why I like this forum, because we can spitball ideas, get each other's take, go back and forth on stuff. That's what the best thing about being a fan, folks. That's what I like about it. David says Strowman's elbow injury hurt his chance. I think his chance was hurt long before then, David. I just don't think that. I think that we put Braun over more than the company ever put him over. And I know that's crazy to say because they had him against Brock and stuff and had him for the title. But, I think that we thought more of Braun than maybe the company thought of him. It's a shame, but he is where he is right now. And I think that's where he's going to stay. In my opinion, that's how I see it. To be fair though, Robbie, the word, if you believe this or not, I don't know. But the word is that he was never going to face Brock. That was never the plan. That was always going to be Seth. I don't know. Let's see. Miss Lopez says you should go live during Elimination Chamber. Boy, that'd be a long podcast, wouldn't it? You know what I might do? Listen, I'm not saying I'm going to. If I can do part, maybe I will. Maybe I can go on during the main event. How about that? Maybe I've done that before. Maybe I can give that a shot. I like that idea, though. And if we do it, of course, we'll do it right here on Wrestling Rumors page. So, Carolina Caveman, I like that. Jim says WWE's fault for not pulling the trigger on Braun when they should have. I don't know, Jim. I think they did pull the trigger on him. I just don't think they liked what happened when they pulled it. I don't think they liked the shot that was fired. I think that, and to be honest with you, was it an audition to be the top guy this whole time? Because when you know they want Roman in that spot. You know Roman's their guy. And no disrespect, I'm fine with that, whatever. But knowing that they know it, why would they ever put Braun into a position to challenge him for it? He was only there to be a spoiler for Roman. He wasn't there as an audition to be the top guy. For better or worse, it is. I don't know. That's just how I view it. We'll get to that, my friend. Hold tight. We're going to get to the women's tag team titles. But jobbing to Lesnar over and over didn't help. Boy, does it help anybody, Jim? To your point, does it help anybody? Roman, maybe? I guess. I don't know. Everyone jobs to Brock. I just jobbed to him last week. You didn't see the match? It's all over the place. It's crazy. You're going to job to him tomorrow. Every freaking one of you are. He's going to show up randomly at your house and F5 and bam, pin you. You're done. It's over. He pins everybody. I'm just saying. You're going to get conquered. They should make a shirt that says I got conquered. Because that's what he does. He just pins everybody. It's crazy. We're moving on. Intercontinental Champion Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, and Lio Rush, for God knows why, versus Finn Balor in a handicap match for the, you guess it, Intercontinental Championship. So, don't know why this has to be a handicap match. It's, again, WWE's way of saying, hey, let's make this interesting. What's up, Chris, in Portland? I'm sorry, Michigan. My bad. I saw Port. My bad. Jenna says she'll run Brock over. Hey, everybody. Jenna's got this. All y'all relax. His days Universal Champion are over. Jenna's got this. Okay? We got nothing more to worry about. That title's coming home, baby. Jenna, wear it with pride, my dear. Wear it with pride. So, all right, what's going on? Someone just asked me about Asuka's opponent. Boy, Asuka just disappeared off the face of the earth, didn't she? I was listening to another show yesterday, and the guy made a great point. He said, listen, if you got nothing for Asuka to do, just keep her off TV. At least that way you're not ruining her. And that's where we've come to with WWE. We're like, Keep her off TV. You know what? Just go ahead and do it. Because if you put her on TV, she's going to screw her up anyhow. That's where we are. Isn't that terrible? It shouldn't be there. This shouldn't be there. We've said this before on this show, and a lot of other people said it too. I'm not the first guy, probably won't be the last. Raw should be the best wrestling show on TV, period. Not even close. And again, no, I didn't just say I hope WWE closes down. Critics out there going nuts on me. It's okay. Why did they pull Becky out of the match with Ronda at WrestleMania? Because they want you to love her even more than you love her now. Because this is what they do. Lio Rush versus Hornswoggle. Hey, I love me some Hornswoggle. Yeah, it will be a triple threat match for sure. Yep. Take home Broad, just kick his skinny knees. He's an example of a guy that worked out all above the waist and forgot about his legs. Who else does that? There's someone else. Who is it I'm thinking of that never worked out his legs? It's like a joke in wrestling. I forget who it is. Maybe it's Brock I'm thinking of. What's WWE's plans for McIntyre? Brother, if I knew, I'd tell you. Because, wow, I don't know. He's got everything it takes. What is it they always like to say? He's got all the tools. I hate that. I've used it myself, and I'll never use it again because it's so terrible and so lame. He's got all the tools. I hate that stuff now. It's crazy. It's so cliched. Christopher says WWE's roster's too bloated. Yeah, we talked about that last week, I think. Says, I'd like to see Bobby lose to Balor to move him up to face Brock in a triple threat at Mania. Oh, interesting. Yeah. So, do you think Raw should be 2 hours long? We talked about this last week, Mike, or the week before. We would all like to see Raw tightened up, and it's less time for stupid stuff to happen. Let's be fair. Let's be honest about it. But WWE's getting a ton of money. The money truck's backing up to the back door, baby, and unloading tons of cash for 3 hours of programming. It'd be crazy. It'd be crazy to not take it. Let's keep it 3 hours. I don't care. I just wish it was better 3 hours. That's all. In a perfect world, yeah, sure. But yeah, here's the thing. We often, not just me, but all of us, we often debate stuff we can't really do anything about. And to me, there's a fine line between let's talk about what happened last night and let's debate this to the point that I just want to go bash my head into a brick wall. And, I treasure my head. I need my head on straight. I don't want any, bleeding wounds walking around. So I choose not to do that. But, yeah, I don't want to make myself crazy. I make myself crazy enough as it is. Montrese just said, I wish SmackDown Live was 3 hours. Oh, well, because the quality of the programming, to your point. But then I ask you this, if it did happen, would it then be watered down? So Joe says, what do you think of Jarrett's return? I don't dislike Jarrett at all. My apologies. I'm dealing with something here. Back here. Yep. There it is. Stuff falling off my desk everywhere, man. It's crazy. My apologies. All that just happened. You know what they say? If it happens on live TV, it wasn't a mistake. So that was planned. See that? Jarrett, I like Jarrett. I don't love Jarrett. I didn't love him before. I didn't love him when he was King of the Mountain. I didn't love all that stuff. I thought when Jarrett won the WCW championship, he was the captain of a sinking ship. And it's like the boat's getting ready to go down, and the captain on his way out the door puts the hat on you and says, it's your boat. Drive it. And Jarrett's like, I don't want it. I don't want this. Leave me alone. If I were Jarrett, that's probably what I would have said. But, take the payday, take the spotlight. I'm watching the intro package right now in New Japan, by the way, for the title match. As we all know, Jay White dethroned Hiroshi Tanahashi to become the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So, good match. Really good match, actually. I'm getting distracted. My apologies again. I always get distracted. I like to have stuff on my TV as I'm talking to you folks. It, it keeps the vibe going, keeps things going. So, okay. Let's see what else we got going on. I knew it's, with AJ and Orton with the RKO. Yeah, for sure. Is Randy Orton next? I don't know. It feels that way, Joe, doesn't it? That rumors of guys leaving the company, and then all of a sudden a week later, they're getting belts and stuff. I mean, if you believe anything you see or hear, WWE's maybe not anxious, but maybe anxious is the word, to hang on to their talent. Oh, it's my laptop, to be honest. Well, there's a TV here with wrestling on it. There's the phone I'm recording on. There's a monitor here. You just got my whole tech set up. There you go. So the iPad's down here, but I don't currently have it on. I've had it on before during the show. I've had 2 different wrestling broadcasts going at the same time. Orton is a company man, but Orton's a businessman, Christopher, as well. Orton should go where the money is. I would. So if the money was right and he had the opportunity to go, I'd go. But here's the thing. People talking about Goldberg, Batista, Orton, Undertaker, AEW, all that. And you know what I'm thinking in the back of my head? Is that the same fan base that cares about these guys? And they cared about Jericho. But Jericho is not really... Jericho became a WWE guy. He wasn't a WWE guy before, right? So, I don't know, man. Part of me says, well, I don't know how they would play in front of that crowd. Would the crowd be unmerciful toward them? I think they would tear Batista in half. That's just my opinion. We all know what happens when Batista's in the ring. No disrespect. We're not exactly talking, Shawn Michaels or Dean Malenko, hold for hold, folks. That's not what Batista does. So would they crucify the guy? Someone just mentioned Ruby Riott. She does have a title match. They're overlooking it because they're moving on to Becky and stuff. She was recently on Twitter and complained about that. She's in character, of course, but she made a valid point. I wrote a column about that, actually. Yeah, interesting take. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. By the way, did we pick anybody for the Intercontinental title? Let's just say Balor, because we want to see Balor win a belt for a change. So, Orton should become the rookie killer, start destroying call-ups. That's funny. Miss Lopez says the Revival finally win tag team titles is about time. A lot of people are saying that. I can't disagree with that at all. Yeah, go Balor, for sure. Okay, yeah, so we're picking Finn in that. Now, this is the match we were talking about earlier. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. Isn't it funny how the Revival are not on the card? New Raw Tag Team Champions. Expect that match to be added at the last second. And if they're facing Gable and Rude, expect everyone to be holding their collective breath, hoping that they don't lose the titles back on the kickoff show. Because I'm sure that's what's going to be happening. The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos. As of right now, is the moment today we're talking, folks, on Friday. The match has not been changed. I don't think it will be changed. Maybe I'll be wrong. We'll see. Keep your eyes peeled to that one. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Usos got the belts. I'm not saying that WWE rewards bad behavior, but certain people have failed drug tests and been brought back. I'm just saying. So I don't know, man. Yeah, probably pre-show. Mark, to your point about the Demon King, wouldn't they at least tease that? I believe, maybe, And plus, Finn kind of felt like he was leaning too much on him. He said as much. He felt like maybe he was leaning a little bit too much on the character and not getting it done without the gimmick, which I could see that. I think we all kind of saw that from the very beginning. So, look at Jinder Mahal. Usos going to AEW. And there again, man, I'm not going to, nail you on a cross because you suggested that. As we said before, you can have your opinion, have your viewpoints, and it's good to ask questions. No harm in asking questions. 9 times out of 10, I phrase the title of a column I write in the form of a question because I don't know the answer. I'm leaving it up for debate. That's why I like this forum. Gives the chance to talk things out, trade and spitball ideas. That's what it's all about. So I don't know if the Usos will show up, and they wouldn't be the Usos. It's not their name. Right? So I don't know what they would do about that, but I don't think it'd really matter at the end of the day. The gimmick does rule. Demon King, absolutely. But, Finn had a lot more going on in New Japan, just a Demon King. He was the Joker. He was Bane. He was a lot of other characters. And tremendous in every one of them, to be fair. So, Shane is going to AEW. That's funny. Usos versus Bucks would truly be a super geek party. But, Jim, man, to your point, what a good match that would be. Off the charts, man. Should WWE sign Shane Strickland? I like Shane. I don't know if Shane's available. If he becomes available, maybe. We'll see. Venom. You're right, Harry. I forgot about Venom. He did Venom as well. Which I'm sure is what a lot of the Demon King came from, with the thing coming at the tongue and all that stuff, for sure, yeah. No, I don't think they're going to do another NWO gimmick. Do you remember that streak we had where we were asked about, I was asked about NWO for like 8 weeks in a row? It was crazy. It's almost an obligatory NWO reference. I think just let the gimmick die. Let it alone. If you want to do another faction, call it something different. You can do it and still be successful at it. You don't need to take someone else's name or idea or whatever. All right, folks, we got 3 big ones left, and they're big. Raw Women's Championship, Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott. Here's why I like this match. No one thinks anything about it. No one cares about it. No one gives a crap about it. Miss Lopez, you figured me out. The next announcement is Tom Clark has signed with AEW. Awesome. Earl just asked me, I think Shane and Miz will turn on each other. Yeah, I'm with you, Earl. I'm definitely with you, Earl. So, yeah, there you go. By the way, I loved your show. My name is Earl. Huge fan. So, no one's talking about Rousey and Riot, which is why I like it. I like Riot a lot. Riot's got way too much respect for herself and her game and her opponent to not go in there and give 150% and leave it all on the line. So I think this match is going to be far better than what everyone thinks it is. Mark my words, as you're watching it, you go, man, that Tom's smart. I'm just saying. I think it's going to be much better. Frank's asking about Taker. We're going to talk about Taker as soon as we wrap up Elimination Chamber here. A bunch of stuff to talk about, as I said before when the show started. Right now, Taker's not penciled in, is what I heard. It's what I read. It's what everyone's saying, is that Taker's currently not penciled in. I don't know if that's true or not. Penciled in could be it's a random idea in Vince's head, and he texted Mark one day and said, "Hey, pal, how you feeling? Here's my idea." And Mark said, "All right, I'll do it." We don't know. That's the beauty of this stuff. We don't know. I'd rather not know sometimes. I just want to be surprised. We'll see what happens. Is Dean turning kayfabe? What was up with Slay the Beast? Supposedly, Earl, like everyone said, man, he's went off script. That's the rumor. Don't know if it's true or not. Bray was injured. He is supposedly healthy again, but they're not using him anywhere. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's a very odd situation, in my opinion. So I think we all got Ronda in this. None of us would be surprised if Charlotte ended up, or maybe Becky came out and screwed the whole thing up. And they can suspend Becky all day long. Doesn't make a difference. I think she keeps showing up and it forces their hand. And Triple H finally says, look, and tells Vince, look, you suspended her, but she's not going to quit showing up. Give her the match. Make her prove herself again. So they bring her in, make her run the gauntlet. Make her run like 10 different women and tell her, you got to beat every one before you get your title shot back. Just an idea. Just a thought. We'll see what happens. Okay, folks, we got 2 left. The Elimination Chamber match to crown the first ever women's tag team champions. This should be a huge match. You've got Sasha and Bayley. You've got Liv Morgan and I'm looking right at her. Sonya Deville, my bad. Naomi Carmella. Nia Jax, God help us all. And Tamina, God help us even more. Mandy Rose. God bless. I can't remember the Iconics. And Sarah Logan. Jeez. I always forget Sarah's name. Isn't that odd? So weird. I've heard people say in the past 2 days, this is going to be a train wreck. This is going to be one of those matches where you go, oh, God. You ever do this when you watch WWE? Oh, God. I mean, I hope not. I hope the match is good. There's enough talent in this match to get the match over. With a few exceptions. I'm not high on the Iconics. I don't think they're very good. And I always say the words no disrespect. I'm sure they take disrespect to that. It's just my opinion. They're not doing anything that can't be replaced by somebody else, to be fair. I'm not sold. I like Tamina in the ring. I don't like her as a character. Nia, I'm not sold on Nia as a character, as a wrestler, as anything. Just my take. Carmella's okay. She's not great. Naomi's good. Mandy Rose is okay. Liv Morgan's okay. Sonya Deville's fine. I mean, the 2 best girls in this match are Sasha and Bayley. Just to be fair. Sasha and Bayley, 2 best in this match. So, what are your thoughts on this match? Who you think is who's going to go over? Yeah, Jim just said Nia Tamina. I wouldn't be surprised. Rebecca says, afraid there will be injuries. That'd be interesting. To Harry's point, Riot Squad, if anyone's earned it, besides Sasha and Bayley, it's a Riot Squad for sure. For sure. Triple H says beat Flair and the chances back to you match ends in a draw. Ooh, Will, great idea for that. I love that. Ms. Lopez says Sasha and Bayley. Yeah, Mandy is sex appeal. That's it. Montrese, thank you for saying that, because Montrese, here's a problem I have. When a man says that, he's kind of, we throw stones at the dude. Yeah, like that. But Montrese, you obviously are not a man, so I like the fact that you said that. And maybe it starts a conversation. Is that why she has a job? Because in the world of WWE, not all the time now, obviously, but if you were a beautiful, blonde-haired, let's call it for what it is, a white woman, you had a place in that company. Hey, I'm not saying anything, okay? I'm not suggesting anyone's racist up in here or that WWE is whatever. But I know what I see, and I know that's the kind of performers that they always gravitated toward. And I was the one guy at home going, why has it always got to be a blonde white girl? I don't understand that. Like, is this all there is? Because you can't tell me they bring talents up. It's not like these women were on the independent circuit for 5 years and then got a job. A lot of them started at the Performance Center or started in developmental, and they brought them up. Just me talking. Alan, what's up, my friend? Yeah, hey, again, I'm not trying to start a real big racist a fight about, black versus white and stuff. Not why I'm here, but I think it's smart that we ask the question. My first column, real quick, I started with Bleacher Report in 2010. My first column was one of my first columns. Was it my first column? It was like maybe column 2 or 3. I don't even remember now. It's a long time ago. It was on race in WWE, where I asked the question, why had there never been an African-American WWE champion? I didn't say world champion because Booker T had held that title. I was talking about an African-American WWE champion. Why was that? I didn't accuse anyone of anything. I didn't say that WWE was racist. I didn't suggest that, an African-American had to have a title so it would shut white people up. I didn't say anything like that. I just asked an honest question. I said, why is it that a black man has never been ascended as I just didn't get it? I was called racist. I had a few different African-American readers comment on the column and said I was an Uncle Tom. Call me names I can't repeat here because I asked a question. I went back and read the column and I said, did I say something inappropriate? Did I offend someone? Like, it was just a question. That's all it was. I didn't understand where the problem was, but I'll take a good look, folks. White dude. Maybe I don't see the problem of what I said. Maybe I'm blind. Maybe one day, if the column is still on there, maybe I'll link it up if you folks are interested in reading it and tell me what you thought. I haven't read it in years. Maybe it does come across as being one way or another now. I don't know. It's just me talking. Montrese, I missed your comment. I'm so sorry. You're the one that started this. I say that in a positive way, by the way. And then I missed your comment. My apologies. Rana is a brunette and Asuka is multicolored? Listen, Tim, I didn't say today, bro. I said before. I said not so much today that we see the blonde, blue-eyed white women. I didn't say today. I said not so much today. I said before. WWE always gravitated toward that. That was my point. Thank you, Toby. I thought so. I thought it was a legit question. We don't have to talk about it anymore. Don't even want to get upset. It's just me asking. I mean, I don't know. It's like we shoot each other in the face all the time for stuff. Isn't that weird? It's really sensitive by superiority being questioned. Ha! Good point. Thank you, Alma. Alma, thank you for your point of view on that. I appreciate it. We don't have to spend any more time on that, folks. It sparked the thing in my head, and sometimes when stuff gets sparked, I got a blah, blah, and I just foam and just go. There you go. So, Tony Atlas and Peter Maivia were tag team champs. Ahmed Johnson was a Continental Champion. Mike, bro, you're 100% right. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about WWE Championship. The WWE Champion at the time. Thank you, Montrese. The WWE Champion at the time, I was saying, an African-American had never been WWE Champion. Not the secondary titles or tag team belts. And to your point, by me asking the question, it automatically sounds like I'm accusing WWE of being racist. I really wasn't trying to do that. And I had people defending the company saying, well, see there, Tony Atlas. And just like you just did, and that's fine. It's a fair point. Not going to deny it. My point was the main headlining top guy, the top draw. Why had he never been African-American? Listen, you guys can debate that amongst yourselves. That's, again, Tom's just asking a question, man. Raymond, did you step in a weird time? What's up, my friend? Welcome to the show. Just saying. Yeah, WWE champ. So, all right, so we got one match left. Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if they kept Sasha and Bayley from the belts just to keep, because in their opinion, or it's in their minds, they're like, well, we got to keep this going, keep people tuned in. So that in order to do that, They're going to keep the belts just out of their reach and stuff, and can't have it, right? So if they do that, don't be surprised if Tamina and I get them, and then Sasha and Bayley have to fight them out to get back to that point. I wouldn't be shocked at all. Sasha's supposedly cleared. Supposedly now she's officially cleared, but they're saving her to Sunday, so we'll see what happens. But I'll tell you something. To come off injury and get cleared in your first match back is Elimination Chamber, hoy vey. Wow, okay? Jeez, we'll see what happens. Okay, folks, last match. Here it is. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy versus Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton versus Samoa Joe. I'm out of breath. Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. Okay, so you're right, Mac. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't get your full name. I'm sorry. Yeah, 100% right about that. So, I don't think Daniel loses the title. In my opinion, just me talking here, folks, I think Elimination Chamber in WWE's minds is kind of a throwaway pay-per-view, kind of a throwaway event. I think they're already so focused on WrestleMania, it's all they're thinking about. And I think they'll use the Chamber to forward a few storyline points, and that's going to be all that's there. But if you have a title match, Elimination Chamber, unless I'm missing something, and I'm sure that in the past there's been moments where I've been wrong about this, folks, but I think if you have if you have things in Elimination Chamber that are going to mean something for Mania, and I'm sure it's happened before, but if you have title matches at Chamber, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to make a difference because the belts aren't going to change hands. And if they do change hands, they're going to change hands at WrestleMania. Now, that's not all the time. Don't get me wrong. Maybe they'll switch it up this year. I don't know. But it does seem like it's sort of a throwaway event. And if you think that feels this way, wait till Fastlane. Hoy. Total throwaway event. And maybe I'm wrong. And again, no disrespect to the talent. The men and women in WWE, generally speaking, always show up. That's important. So I'm not disrespecting them at all. Nathan just asked about a new Wyatt family. Maybe. I think maybe we've already seen that before. Bray's going to come back, help Bryan win. That would be impressive, Jen, if it happens. Wouldn't be a shock, but I think that would be interesting. Bryan will retain by Crook. Yeah, for sure. Kofi's only in the match so he can fulfill Ali's spot. Well, I wrote that this morning, Harry, asking the question, is he just for filler, or is WWE finally going to start looking at it and saying, look, Ali's out. We need to move forward. Why don't we just go ahead and start looking at splitting up New Day? Doesn't mean they have to end in a total meltdown like the Shield did. Doesn't have to end like that. I've said for 2 years now or better that the Shield can end on a handshake. That the New Day can end with, listen, we're going to let Kofi go do his thing. Kofi starts getting successful, starts getting over, starts getting main event matches. Xavier and Big E are kind of sitting back going, listen, you do your thing. We're going to do the tag team thing. We're going to keep rolling. And then eventually one day they're backstage and, there's no pancakes and stuff. And they just say, you know what? We started this together. We started this as friends. Let's end this as friends. Let's call it a day. Maybe one of these days we can hang out and do this again. We could go on another run. But for right now, we just got too much going on. And let's just let it end at that. And if one of those guys wants to turn heel later, they can. It doesn't have to be despite the other guys. But this is Tom's booking, which we know means nothing to Vince McMahon, folks. So, we'll see what happens. Thank you, Montrese. Very sweet of you to say that. Let's see. Hope Kofi gets a push. Jenna, I'm with you 100%. Hope he gets a push as well. Kofi is dessert. He's earned it. He deserves it. He's been there since 2000. Is it? Oh, my God. How many years has he been there? 2000. It's not 2008. He's not been there. Has he been there 11 years? Shut up. How long has he been there? The feud with Orton happened in 2010 when we all thought he was going to get over, and we're like, oh my God, this is exciting, this is fun. And then, cut it, nothing happened. So, 11 years, Earl, there you go. Thank you, my friend. So, see, think you should bring back the original heavyweight titles. What are your thoughts? You mean, I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like the World Heavyweight title and the WWE Championship? I don't know. I'm okay with the Universal title if they did it right. But let's be honest. Had Finn not been injured, what would we be looking at right now? Would Brock have went to SmackDown and won the WWE Championship and terrorized that program for, 15 minutes at a time, disappear for 3 months on end? Just asking. I don't know. I like playing what if sometimes. I'm a comic book fan. I can't help it. I love the what if stuff. It's kind of what I do. But it's kind of weird to play that with pro wrestling because reality is reality. It's whatever. I've discussed the what if scenarios many times over the years. What if Eric Bischoff never came to WWE? What if WCW won the Monday Night War? What if Hulk Hogan refused to turn heel with NWO? What if this, that, what if that, and the other? It's just me. But, yeah, that's just me talking. All right, so there's your Elimination Chamber card, folks. I think Daniel Bryan retains, my humble opinion. I don't want to see Mustafa Ali get out of this. I think that I can't, if I sit here and tell you he's earned it, maybe not. I think he's earned an opportunity to prove himself. He's put enough time in for that, for sure. Whether or not he's earned a main event match on a pay-per-view, I don't know if that's for me to say. I can tell you I don't think so, but the company evidently thought so. Maybe that should be good enough for me. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. If I owned a wrestling company, I would hire you to book matches. Oh, man, Mike, you're the man. Thank you, my friend. Oh, thank you, Miss Lopez. Thank you for mentioning Pedro. First Triple Crown champion. Condolences from my little show here. From all of us to Pedro's friends and family and acquaintances and fans. I've said this on the program before. I didn't grow up a WWF fan. I grew up a Jim Crockett Promotions fan. I was a fan of the NWA. Dusty and Rick, the Horsemen, Magnum, Nikita, Wahoo. Those are the guys. Those are my guys. Still are. And so I didn't grow up watching Pedro. I grew up in the South, so I didn't see a lot of Pedro Morales, to be fair. But I respect what he did for the business. I respect his contributions. He got in the ring and put his body on the line to entertain. And I respect that. And, we're all going to shuffle off this mortal coil at some point, folks. All of us. It's a humbling thought, but it's going to happen eventually. So, like I said, all the best, all the deepest condolences to his family, for real. I hate to see that happen. Reggie says, will Brock finally lose the title? Reggie, on some planet, he will. Don't know if it'll be Earth, because it looks as though this guy is unstoppable. Even the strongest, and Jim Ross has said it before, the most powerful tool in all of pro wrestling, the most dangerous move in all pro wrestling is the pin. Because the pin in the right booker's hands can change everything. So I don't know. They've got a ton of faith in that guy. You have to admit, every time he's there, people tend to stand up. Whether or not that means anything, I don't know. But they like to throw that back at you. A lot of writers in my position like to throw that at you too. I'm not trying to throw it at you. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's too much. But what do I know? Roman's not there. What else are they going to do right now? I think it's how they're looking at it. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it. Rollins beats Lesnar. I bet Lashley gets involved. I think everyone loves the idea of Lashley and Lesnar for sure. So let's hit real quick on Taker. Taker is going to appear at StarCast on May 25th, the same day as AEW's Double or Nothing event. Now, let's clear up a few things right off the bat. Number one, this does not mean that Undertaker is going to All Elite Wrestling. I wrote a column that was published today, actually late last night, on Wrestling Rumors. Please go find it and give it a read about the Undertaker appearing at StarCast, where once again I asked questions. I didn't presume to know the truth on any of it, but I asked questions about, does this mean he might change his mind at some point? Could we see him in an AEW ring? Is this have nothing to do with anything? Because there again, I think it's okay to ask questions, which is what I try to do. I like to try to be curious and find out, see what happens. Play the what if game, sometimes. So let's get that right out of the way first. Nothing's been announced. He has not left WWE. I was listening to Wrestling Observer Live, and I know what you're going to say, dude, come on with that show. But I listen to as much as I can from as many people as I can. And the opinion on there has been is that he is Taker's the wrestling part of his contract is up. Now, you take that with a grain of salt. I don't even know what that means. We're talking about him and Vince have known each other for 30 years or better. That contract, schmontract, whatever. A handshake deal would be enough to get the guy back in the ring, right? It's Undertaker, folks. So, don't be surprised if that's nonsense. I wouldn't dispute it at all. I wouldn't also not dispute it if it wasn't nonsense. But the idea that Taker's wrestled his last match and we don't know about it, I don't know, folks. I mean, to me, it would be Taker's call. It's his career, not ours, not WWE's, not Vince's. But it's Vince's company. Wouldn't you think they'd want to send him off on a grand send-off? I thought they did against Roman, and it turns out, I'm just kidding, I'm back. I'm just kidding. I got the hat back and the gloves. I'm going to have smoke and lightning, and there you go. He just kind of came back from the dead, which is what he does. So. Let's see. White says I could see Taker taking a backstage role in AEW. If that happens, If you want an hour, and listen to all you folks out there hoping to book like Boy Scout events, church socials, fundraiser for your kid's school. If you want to book Undertaker, he's available. It's $25,000 for an hour. I'm not making that up. You can contact him on Twitter for his agent. $25,000 an hour. I'm not even making that up. So there you go. Paul taking up for Brock, saying he does his job very well. Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying he's not. And I've never blamed Brock for Brock's booking. I blame WWE for Brock's booking. I always have. Silly to blame Brock, to your point. Well said. Frank says Brock sucked. Frank wants to fight, dude. You guys should hash it out. Steel cage. So, Angel, what's up, man? So, Taker would make an amazing trainer. Fire all the other trainers. All due respect. Just imagine you're a new guy in NXT and Shawn Michaels and Undertaker are training you. I think I'd pass out. Just pass out. Straight up. Where's that Tom guy? Oh, he's passed out again. Help him up. Get him some water. Can you imagine? I can't even fathom that, dude. Breaking into the business and being told Shawn and Taker are going to train you. Shut up. Shut up. Crazy. Yeah, Paul says keep your shirt on. Paul remembers the comment about rednecks taking their shirts off. All right, dudes, all you guys keep your shirts on, okay? Ladies too. We don't want any X-rated stuff up in here. Relax. No fighting. We're all friends, folks. Wade says $25K is too much. Wade, to your point, there's some people paying it. Taker's got some appearances coming up in England sometime in April and May, I think. Starcast is going to pay him something. I don't know if it's $25,000. Suppose it's $25,000 for an hour, $60,000 for 3 hours. I can't, I make what I make an hour and I make what I make writing. And my house costs what it costs. I can't fathom. Those numbers are way too big for this head of mine. Way too big. So, Will, yes, I have seen the new Stanley Pop. And yes, I want to own it. Badly. I pre-ordered the Ric Flair Pop. He's got the long hair, the robe. He's the classic throwback 80s Rick. I've pre-ordered that pop. And I also pre-ordered, oh my God, who else did I pre-order? Michael Jordan. And he's up on a stand like he's going to dunk the ball. I'm like, I got to have Jordan for real. And of course, I got to have Nate. I got to have the goats. Got to have the goats on my shelf. Got the goats, man. If you don't have 2 goats on your shelf, what good are you? Thank you for bringing that up. It's awesome. What's up, James? We talked about... We talked about Raw. Hey, Barry, what's up? Barry's late. Wow. Bulbasaur. I don't know if I know who you're talking about, man. I do have WWE 2K19. Me and my kid were playing it like crazy when it first came out. I have a habit of I love to play Xboxes like all day long. I just don't have the time. And he and I haven't played it in forever. We need to. Might actually do that this evening now that you mention it. Okay, Paul says the thing with Wyatt, you think creative is just saying we have nothing for you. It seems unbelievable to me. Bray is too good. Gets me angry. Me too. But, like we said with Asuka, if you don't have anything for him, if there's a choice between you put him on TV and screw him up, or you keep him out at home, keep him at home. What's up, Steven? Oh, Tyler's got a PS4. I contemplated it, man. When they ran him $199 at Christmas, I contemplated it. I didn't do it. We have a 360 and Xbox One. And I got the throwback Atari in here. That reissue Atari with all the games on the console. I love that thing. It's my jam. But there's not a pop for a Lucha Brothers album that I know of. I don't think so, no. Danny, you better be joking. I don't think anybody wants to see Husky Harris come back. So we have come to the end of the hour. So, no, I don't. Kingdom Hearts, no, I don't. I don't know. No, sure don't. Jenna just talked about Finding My Family. Listen, we've talked about the movie. I saw it at a private screening in January. I can't remember what the date was now. January? Yeah. It's really good. It's really good. You guys are going to dig it. Go see the movie. I highly endorse it. I'm working with the PR firm that's doing the press for the film. I was supposed to be able to do an interview with somebody from the cast or the director. It's not happened yet. Don't know if it's going to happen. Keep your fingers crossed. Jim was just asking about Taker. Taker's a businessman. He's a carny at heart. A lot of these older guys are. They got to keep going. Got to make money. I heard it speculated that Taker isn't in the best financial situation, and I'm thinking, how would you know that? Like when Flair was having financial issues, I heard people talking about, Flair's broke. And I'm like, do you have his checkbook? Do you have access to his debit card and his accounts? I don't know that. I hate when people do that stuff. But maybe that's what we're seeing with Taker. Taker's like, hey, I still got to make a living, man. Still got to go out there and hustle. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's just hustling. Can't fault a guy for that. My thoughts on AEW non-employing writers. Amen and pass a collection plate on that one. Because, let's see, non-employing writers, 30 writers for Raw. I'm just throwing that number out there because I heard it's way high. Especially for a show that is really not all that great 99% of the time. For all those writers to sit there and not get it done. It's crazy. Let's see. What else is going on here? Taker will never leave for AEW. I don't think Taker will leave, period. Doesn't matter where it's at. I don't think he's leaving. I think he knows what side his bread's buttered on. But, there again, crazier. I don't know about crazier things have ever happened. Crazy things have happened in this business, man. And again, there's nothing wrong with asking a question. I don't believe in my gut that he's going to go anywhere, but that's just me talking. Okay, folks, I'm sure there's other rumors out there. Is there anything else anybody wants to talk about before we call it a day here on the show? Anything else happening out there? Anything else that we've not talked about or spitballed on or anything like that? Anything else that we need to cover? Hit me with something, folks. We've lost, when you lose your audience by a third, it's usually time to go home. So, Papa Sean go to AEW. I dig it. Man, people love the Wyatt family. Good Lord. Tyler says, do you think we will see any surprises? Boy, I hope so. But the thing about WrestleMania with surprises usually come the day after Mania, right? WrestleMania is supposed to be used to pay off the big storylines that we've watched for 12 months straight. It's me talking, right? But I'm open to surprise. I love surprises, for real. Oh, okay, so did we talk about Omega last week to AEW? Did we talk about it, folks? I think we all kind of knew it was going to happen. That was my guess, but I didn't know. And I was honest about it. I didn't know the truth. But I don't think anybody was shocked. It's a great get for them. Not a good get, a great get. And we're going to see Omega versus Jericho 2 at Double or Nothing. Should be good. Be sure you watch the event. I'm definitely going to watch it. I'm anxious to see it, see what happens. But yeah, it's great. Great for them. Jason says he hates Daniel Bryan. Jason, there's too much hate in the world, my friend. Don't hate Bryan or his hemp title. So, I don't know. I think that's all we got, man. Give me one more. Someone give me something good here. Someone give me something good. Yeah, Mark, you took his shirt off and everything. You missed that joke. We've talked about Wyatt family already, James. For real. No one's got any information on them. We'll see what happens. Robbie, this is a good one. Here's an idea. Mick Foley's AEW commissioner. He knows wrestling inside and out. I love that. God, I love that. That's good stuff. Yeah, put him on the mic. Oh my God. Oh my God. Put Foley on the mic. Are you kidding? Absolutely put Foley on the mic. Commissioner. But see, here's the problem. I love your idea. Here's the problem. We all know that they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 executive vice presidents right now. They got a lot of corporate in that company. Scary. Scary. Bring him in. Let him do something. Let him be the MC. Call him the MC for Double or Nothing. Oh my God, would that be fun or what? So, yeah, that'd be fun. Y2J bashing Brock on Twitter. Wasn't that an odd exchange or an odd thing? He claimed later he wasn't drunk. I don't know what happened there, folks. I have no idea. Nikki Cross' sister Abigail. Boy, that's been said a whole bunch, Alma, to your point, for sure. Harry, can I be honest with you? It's tough for me to say this, my friend. I think Jim's time on commentary is... it's not working for me. It's not working for me. Me personally. You guys may still love him on commentary, but to me, it's not working anymore. No disrespect. I think it's done. But that's just me talking. Maybe I'm wrong and he would get out there and kill it. I don't know. Paige becoming a manager, that'd be interesting. Who would you put Paige as a manager of? Somebody big, right? To my knowledge, Jenna, AEW, unless they've got it and haven't announced anything, does not have a TV deal as of yet. The latest rumor I heard was that they were negotiating with TBS. TBS was the front runner, but I don't know if that's true or not. And we speculated last week how interesting it would be to see a brand new sports entertainment pro wrestling entity, whatever they're going to call themselves, hopefully pro wrestling, appear on a Turner-owned channel, Turner Network. So there you go. I think we're it, man. I can't think of anything else. I think we've covered all the pertinent news of the day. I can't think of anything else that maybe we've not covered. We've got a whole other show to go next week. I am contemplating, because someone, I think it was Montrese, recommended that I go live during Elimination Chamber. I may do the main event. We'll see what happens Sunday night. Miss Lopez made a great point just now. I hope AEW does not turn into WCW. I think we all agree with that 100%. So if that's it, man, we're going to take this thing home. I got to thank everybody again for watching, for listening out there in podcast land. It's right next to Suplex City. Didn't know that, did you? So, Miss Lopez, real quick, hit us up with a good one. AEW sold out in 4 minutes. Great stuff. Miss Lopez bringing the heat. You too. Thank you. Have a wonderful day yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, if we're not friends on Facebook, please send me a message to Wrestling Rumors Instant Messenger. I'll send you a friend request. We'll go from there. Thank you again for watching. For all you first-timers out there, thanks for hanging out. Please come back again next Friday. Remember, if I ever can't be here, I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up. Try to stay in tune. Try to stay in touch with you folks. Today's show was really fun. I appreciate it. Thanks much for everybody for hanging out. And we'll see you next time. Give us a listen. Check us out on iTunes. Subscribe to the show. Leave us a review. If you would, that'd be awesome. And I think that's about all we got for you, man. I appreciate it, Jim. Thanks to everybody out there. We're gone. We're out here. We're taking it home. We will see you next time on Tom Clark's Main Event.